Hello Cancer, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana and I will do the vibes inside for you today. So somehow I get the feeling, Cancer, that there has been some kind of shift for you. I had the Cancer energy come up in my full moon reading as well, so maybe I am repeating myself in this reading a little bit. Not necessarily, but let's see what else comes up. I have a feeling that something is here to be transmuted, transformed, or it is already in the process of being so. Okay, when I sat down, just meditated a little bit, I had like the feeling of like a roundabout. Here we go again, or something like, now I hear threadmill, like something is coming around again, or it has come a full circle or something. It's part of the wheel turning, but I also heard laughter, like a child's experience on a roundabout, right? A carousel or something. And the laughter of just the playing laughter. I have a feeling of it's whatever may be in your life is something that has come around before. And the laughter to me kind of suggests that maybe not taking it too seriously, just think of it as a game or something. Like that this is just a kind of a game and now it's repeating somehow, or something is repeating or has been repeating. Well, I could even see this as the spin of the zodiac, right? That we are constant in movement with the planets, and the full moon is, you could say, a time where full moon talks about completion. Something that may have started half a year ago is an energy that have been working during the last year, have maybe come to fruition now, or has come to an end, or you have figured something out, perhaps. And here we go again like this. Now we take another step, or we just take another half year of the wheel that constantly is turning. So now we are in a new process of something. But this idea of here we go again is like from maybe here we go again. So maybe you have been in stagnation and is now able to move. It could be the other way around. You have been very busy, and here we go again is maybe this idea of going in a like a different pace. It could be that for a period of time, maybe you haven't been able to do the stuff that you normally do, or that you have been doing, or you are back on track with something. Yeah, that's what I feel like. You're back on track with something. Getting back to work again, maybe after a longer period of time where you haven't been working. But I also get the feeling here we go again, like maybe it's not the same work. Maybe it's something. Well, maybe it's something you've dreamt about, but never really got to in this lifetime. Maybe this is something you carry with you from other lifetimes. Some kind of expertise that you had in other lifetimes that has been dormant in this lifetime, and now here we go again. It's like now it's time to kind of put this into action. Let this come forward again. And then the laughter, right? The laughter is kind of indicating now it's going to be different, right? It's a different, it's easier perhaps for you. Maybe it's going to be easier. More fun perhaps for you. Yeah, there's something about that. It could be easier, more fun, lighter, or yeah. Or just the feeling, the feeling, just that it feels lighter. It feels more easy. It feels more enjoyable. I have the orange color here. So this is the sacral area. Sacral chakra. It connects with the womb, where we create life. Maybe something new is coming to life, but I still have this feeling of here we go again. So this idea of again is how can I say this? It's like the wheel is probably kind of always turning. We could say, let's say we talk about the wheel of work, right? Our lifetime, we do something, we work with something, right? And it has been maybe like a feeling of continuous effort you put into something. And I get the feeling maybe you have had a pause or something disconnected. Maybe you were unemployed or unable to work for a period of time. And now here you go again. Now you start again. But I still have the feeling it could be with something entirely different that you usually did. It could be that you that work is continuously going on in your life, or growth, or how you want to see it. It's continuously keeping you dynamic somehow, not stagnant, right? And you are a cardinal sign, so somehow there is a self-management that is very prominent with you, Cancer. It's self-management towards like what's right for you perhaps, or becoming manager, or I get almost like stepping stones, like from one to another, to another, to another, to another. So, and every time you reach a new stepping stone, here we go again now, and then we put in effort again so that we can reach the next one. It's like there are milestones for you somehow. And every time you reach one, you could be satisfied, right? You could say, okay, I'm good. But that's kind of not your deal. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, it's like, okay, now I'm here, great, here we go again. Then I start a new cycle of something. but I have the feeling that it's going to be more enjoyable, more fun, more easy, lighter perhaps. There could be more fun to this, more laughter, maybe more openness. It could be something you have done before, like as a child, or it could be something you have done in previous lifetimes, I want to say, something like that. I want to take the Isis Oracle here as overall and underlying energy for this reading. Yeah, the feeling of continuous roundabout. That whatever is going on, it's continuing. The cycle in astrology, in your horoscope, you are constantly somehow affected by the moon, perhaps, which is Cancer refers to. The moon is moving all the time. We are moving along with it. It's constantly somehow a new experience, and even if you reach a milestone, here we go again. So there's still more work to do, perhaps. There's still more to be completed. There's still more to be, what's that called? There's still more to be fine-tuned. It's almost like, are you on some kind of I get like the feeling of that you are moving towards some kind of end goal, and maybe I don't see a particular end goal exactly, but what kind of vision I get here is like I see you know, if someone wants to become a lawyer, there are different exams. There's a lot of studying, and then there are different exams. And every exam, it has the opportunity to be a cancel exam, so that either you and now I hear either you exist or you don't. That's not exactly how I see the exams, but it's this idea, either you get them right or you get them wrong, right? Either you pass or you don't. And oh, that's interesting, Cancer, because I get either you live or you die. It's almost like you are on some kind of path where every test on that path is a test or an exam of living or dying, or living or withering, you could say. Do you, or flower and withering, you know, like that kind of feeling. Are you passing this and flower more, or are you not passing it and you wither a little bit more? And every time you get to another milestone, you can either, or exam, you can either flower more or wither more. And then you get to the next one. If you flower, you get to the next one. And then it's like you, again, you are faced with something where you can either flower or wither back. Do you get my point? It's like you are on some kind of it's a path towards, now I get the feeling you are on a path towards living, truly, authentically living. Like with the most powerful lotus rose flower, shining rose flower. The most authentic, healed, powerful, shining, kind of living for you, what that may mean. And you are kind of walking towards it. You're walking towards it somehow. And every time you meet an obstacle, it's either like, do you really want this? Or do you want to settle? So I get the feeling of like the lawyer, right? On studying, and then it's exam time. And you pass the exam and you study, and then you have another exam time. And every time it's like either or. Either you flower more, become more authentic, more enlightened maybe, more powerful, more self-mastered, or you wither down and settle for something. That's what I get, like that's these stepping stones. And every time you reach one, it's not like you say, okay, I'm good. I'm better now, great, I'm good. I settle for this middle, what can we say? I'm settling now for this department store management title. I don't want to go for top management. I'm settling here. I'm good. That's not how I see you. It's like every time you pass an exam, it's like now the roundabout starts again, and here we go again. So now you have just come to another stepping stone, or maybe past it, or you are in the middle of it, or almost able. Now you have almost finished your exam presentation, and you're kind of awaiting the result of it, whether you pass or not. And then it's like the roundabout starts again. But then there was laughter, like a child laughter. And I get the feeling of maybe you have come to a point where everything becomes a little easier, or it's more fun now. You have figured out the game rules, and how to do this easier maybe for yourself. Maybe the exam you've passed, or the hurdle you overcome, has been one that really held you back, and now it seems like it's easier. Everything forward moving from now is easier. That's actually what I feel like is here. But let's get some cards on this to see what else we can have on the table here. Yeah, it feels a little bit like the circle is keeping moving here. It keeps moving. The roundabout is still moving, and you are in some of the seats moving with it. And I just get the feeling that it's easier. It could be, now there's something else coming in here. It could be that the roundabout is someone else's roundabout. And you sit in it and spin with it. And someone is just laughing because of it. They see how you have been spinning in this tumultuous, maybe roundabout. You have been kind of occupied with that somehow. And someone has just been laughing while you were sitting there. Could be another interpretation that you have been very occupied with something and you haven't seen what else was going on, perhaps. Someone may have kept you, or something may have kept you very busy, and they kind of just laughed behind the scene. They laughed at you, seeing that you were very occupied with this. Whatever this is for you, very occupied by it. Let's say someone had you work for something, on something, for them, or to help them maybe. And they saw that you took it very seriously and you wanted to help, you wanted to do something, and you were just kind of, you bought the lie maybe, or you bought the story, and you were very engaged in doing something, and now it's like they may just have been laughing at that. It could be that you have been occupied with something, and it was when you were in it, when this was very like in your face and very dramatic maybe, you couldn't see anything fun with it. You couldn't see anything nice in it. It kept you very busy. It kept you very occupied. It kept you very maybe out of like leisure time and free spare time. And now maybe something has happened where you are actually able to look at it and just laugh at it. And kind of just, wow, they had me spinning in some kind of belief system. And now when I look at it, I see how absurd it was. I see how stupid it was, how ignorant it was, how could I become like engaged in that? How was I not able to take myself out of it? And when you look at it now, it just seems so absurd maybe. You know, like it's this feeling that you read a novel, right? You read a novel and you can become so absorbed in it because it draws you in somehow. And when you somehow get to the finish line of that book, or you can close it because now you read it, it may have been quite a fun experience, or an exhilarating, or even a scary one. But when you close the book, it's like, okay, I had that experience. It was a thrill, or it was exciting, or it was scary, or whatever it was. But I have come to the finish line of that now. And I see it for what it was. It was a story, right? It was just a story. I got myself totally involved in it, totally absorbed in it. But now that it's closed, now that I closed the book, I see how absurd it actually is that I could lose myself in that. I could lose myself in that narrative. How my brain and everything, my heart and brain and everything was drawn into something. And but it's just words on a piece of paper, or in a book. It's just words. How could that affect me so much? Or a film you see, right? You see a film and it's so scary or so exciting or so whatever it is for you. you sit there in your living room, and if it's a scary movie, you end up actually realizing that you have crawled up in the corner of your couch, sitting with your blanket and your pillow just under your nose, right? So scared of something that happens in the television or on the screen, but not actually with you, right? And becoming more and more aware of this stuff, how you can become affected by something that isn't even there. The scariness of the movie isn't there just beside you, right? It's in the screen somewhere, or it's in the book somewhere. You can just close the book and put it away, right? Or you can just not read it, or just not watch the film, then you wouldn't have that experience. But how you can get absorbed into something, and then when you close the book, actually realizing what just happened, how easy you got yourself so absorbed in something, and had like an inner experience of it, an inner experience of different sensations, good or bad, right? And maybe this is what it talks about, right? That when you are on the roller coaster or on the roundabout, maybe it goes a bit too fast, and you get dizzy, or you get uncomfortable, or maybe you find it very exhilarating. You laugh at it. You laugh because it tickles your stomach or something. You find it exhilarating. And then you get yourself out of that experience. And after a period of time, you can actually see how easy you can become absorbed into something. I choose if I put myself in the seat of the roller coaster, right? And even before the roller coaster starts its journey, I may actually have a feeling of, wow, this is going to be exciting. Let's have a look at this. I'm probably going to scream or whatever. I'm probably going through, maybe it will take me through a dark space also. Maybe it will, maybe that's what you see how your life has been. Something like, I came into this experience as a soul, and I had to learn something here. And I have been going through so many things already. And now it's just how exhilarating, how exciting this has been up to now. Maybe you don't feel like it has been exciting. Maybe it has been a tough job, but it still was an experience. It took you right into the core of something. You felt it deeply in your heart. Despair, the wildest love affair, romance, sadness, all kinds of feelings where you kind of get absorbed in it, and how life can bring this to you. Every time you make a choice of reading a book, opening your television, looking at some kind of movie, every time you hear news, every time you get yourself on a roller coaster, whatever feeling, you sit on a horseback and you ride over the hills, right? It's an exhilarating experience. It's like, but you choose which one you want to go towards, right? I just get the feeling of this hindsight, as like looking hindsight on something that you have, maybe you have experienced something for a longer period of time, and when you look at it now, it's like maybe you can even laugh at it, like, oh my God, this was the wildest 10 years of my life. I didn't even know how absorbed I got in this. I didn't even realize how much this took my power away, maybe, or how great I felt. I felt so great, and maybe you remember it, right? You may remember it and just kind of smile about it and think about how much life may actually already have taught you, have shown you, but also this idea that you are somehow in charge, right? You are somehow in charge of what you choose is in your life, right? That I get the feeling of like a mastery, coming to a sense of a mastery level of something, that you choose what you let yourself become absorbed into, and you do it in because you can do hindsight, right? It's because you have been the witness and participator of something for a longer period of time, and you have come to a different place now. You are a different kind of person. You have grown, you have matured maybe. And when you look at how you got yourself absorbed in something, maybe, how you participated, how you let yourself be maybe even tricked or betrayed by something, when you look at it now, it's almost like you see the absurdness of it. How did I not figure this out before? How did I not see this before? How come I got myself so absorbed in this? But because you have grown, matured, you've really learned something, it's almost like you can laugh at it. The journey of life, like you can, well, maybe not laugh at it, but just maybe appreciate this idea that life can show us so much. Life can show us so much, right? The birth of a child, right? As I said, the greatest love affair, the most exciting erotic adventure, the most scary film, or it's almost like you can appreciate how your senses and feelings and sensuality and everything can come into play. But you are the one who chooses when to play and not, when to engage and when not. And maybe you haven't felt that you were actually in charge. Maybe you haven't felt that you could be in charge. Maybe you have played along to other people's music. You know, but I get the feeling of someone just, okay, here we go again. Now something new starts for me, right? I get almost like a feeling, a bit of the fool feeling that from tarot, the fool being this exciting person who just says, okay, now I just passed the exam and I'm ready for the next new thing, right? And this is going to be exciting, right? Wow, what am I going to experience now? What is this going to be like for me? What more can come in? What haven't I experienced yet? Maybe something like that. Maybe you suddenly find yourself being drawn to traveling or having some new kind of hobbies, exciting new stuff you haven't tried before, or maybe you find yourself wanting to explore something scary, maybe. But it's because you have figured out that life is that kind of game. It's you have the opportunity to choose what comes in for you, right? That you are somehow in charge. But this, I feel like, is because you have mastered some kind of exams here. Maybe you have let go of certain fears, and you have come to a level now when you look backwards on all these exams that you've passed, you kind of just think about it. Wow, I have actually gone through all of these steps here. I've had all these different kind of ups and downs and in and out and whatever. And it all showed me something. It all showed me something. Maybe I wasn't very good at handling it. But I see it now. I see that life wants to give us experience. It wants to, and I have the ability to become the master of this. I can choose. And I choose how to react to it. When someone gives me something, they send something towards me, they say something, I choose how I react on this. I choose whether it wants to ruin my day or whether it wants to, I just laugh at it, right? So this roundabout, now here we go again. It could be the feeling that something is coming back, like something is now rising up to the occasion. Maybe people something is coming around again, and maybe usually early on in life you complied with it. It could be a sense of force that something is coming towards you, and now it brings the same kind of force as it used to. And earlier on in life, you may have complied with it. Maybe you didn't discuss or debate anything, you just accepted it. Now, when it comes around again, maybe you actually just start laughing. Maybe you start laughing at some kind of maybe demand from someone else because you figured something out. You figured out that this can be handled in a totally different way. I'm not going to be discriminated or controlled or dominated by anyone, maybe. So if this comes around again, now I can just laugh at it, right? I can just, no, I'm not going to do this. Sorry to say that this is really not something that I want to give into anymore. Have a nice day. That kind of feeling, right? I get this feeling, here we go again. It can come up in so many different ways for you, right? But I get the feeling of someone who has passed a lot of exams, right? And getting closer and closer to some kind of finish line. And I get the feeling of living, like really living and enjoying life, laughing, having a good time, having life in your life. So good, beautiful, light-hearted activities that you really care for. That's what I feel like. Or people in your life, right? Supportive people, maybe, right? Okay. So I'm going to show an overall energy here for the reading. This came up in reversed here. It says initiation, spiritual testing of Ra and the Lady Isis. Yeah, there's something about testing, right? And then I, at the bottom of the deck, I get the Pyramid of Light. It says, step your vibration deeper into love. These are actually not to be read. There's no, in the book there's no interpretation of reverse cards, so I'm not quite sure if I should read it like that. But when it comes out reversed, I want to give it a minute just to figure out what kind of what I think I can get from this. Well, initiation, spiritual testing of Ra and Lady Isis. It's almost like you have, maybe you have come to a step or a milestone, an exam in your spiritual journey where, because you have already been through so many, you recognize them perhaps. You recognize something about how they present themselves to you. And every time there is a testing, it's like an initiation. It's like you could be, if you pass this, it's like you could be initiated into more, you could say, light here. Or life, as it came through for me, more life, more flourishing, maybe more abundance, more joy maybe in your life. The test is like an initiation portal where you either go forward or backwards, right? It's almost like the underlying energy here says a pyramid of light, step your vibration deeper into love. It's almost like either you refuse more testing, like you realized, you could say, the testing game, like you figured out the rules for this, or you figured out the trademarks of when a test is showing itself to you. You realize what it is. Therefore, it's no longer a test. You have figured it out, and therefore you are not. You cannot be tested anymore, right? That could be the reason why this is reversed. It could be that you refuse to be tested, or you refuse to go that road. You just laugh at it. Like you just laugh now, okay, here we go again. Now it's coming back, this stuff. I'm just going to laugh at this because actually I cannot really take this seriously anymore. I feel like I have figured out what this is. I'm not dealing with those people anymore. I'm not dealing with those problems. I'm not going to engage with that anymore. So that could be why this is reversed. It could be that there is no more testing, that you have come to the end road of some kind of test. There is no more testing. But what I feel like, there is still something here, because this is underlying, and it says step your vibration deeper into love. And this is different for me because love has nothing to do with a game. It has nothing to do with you figured out maybe, I see this is a test for me. I have to figure out whatever this obstacle, I can just go through it easily. I know now what this is. It's just to remind me or test me about something. These people are here again because they remind me of something, whatever. There is something about the love thing that maybe you have figured something out, but you can still stand stronger in the light of love. The testing could be a little bit like a game, right? Either you pass or you don't. And here it's like there is an evaluation of you also. right? An evaluation whether you passed or not, whether you were good enough or not. And that can be seen as a game, right? Either I win or I lose. But I get the feeling with this card, it's like, yeah, of course you can watch your spiritual journey or your growth path or whatever you feel you are on. You can watch it and in hindsight maybe realize that this has just been one giant step of winning or losing. It's a game, or it's a stepping stone game. I can fall in or I can stay up. But I feel like there's more to it, right? There's more to it. There is an element of love here. So it's not just a game of winning and losing, being right or wrong or good enough or not good enough. It's coming into an awareness of what love is. And love has nothing to do with being tested all the time. If this has to do with, you could say, people around you who constantly wants you to live up to something, be good enough, or pass the exam or prove themselves, right? That it has nothing to do with, love has nothing to do with proving yourself. So if you have been in a life where you felt like you should constantly prove yourself to others, pass the exams and so on, or you got yourself into situations where you were evaluated by others or judged by others. I want to say this card feels a little bit like you don't want to be that anymore. That every time someone tries to judge you, evaluate you, write something about you, you kind of just laugh at it, like it's just too stupid for you. You don't want to be part of that game. Maybe you rather would want to be more devoted to something else here, or engaging with something else here. That is not a competition. That you come from a different place, right? That you don't want to be evaluated, tested, diagnosed, or judged by anyone here. And if people try to, you would just laugh at them, or you just would turn around and walk away from it, because there's something else here driving the element for you. You're seeking towards the top of the top, and up here we deal with something that is of a higher ascension here, that comes with a totally different kind of vibration. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to draw cards now from the Akashic Tarot. Yeah, I get the feeling of like that it's like you see how tests in life may have got you occupied into something. And how you got yourself absorbed in it somehow, and I think that you don't fall for this anymore. Like that, if some kind of stuff comes into your life, you're not getting easily drawn into it anymore. Not as easily. Now jumper here, the 5 of Roses, the Garden. Yeah, yeah, I get the feel. The garden for me is not a good card, actually. It can talk about a lot of stuff, but what I see here are two children. They are inside a neatly, nicely tidy garden here. But there's a fence here in the background, all around the garden. And they seem to me like they are kind of boxed in. The children can play in the garden here, but not outside of it. So you can explore within a certain area. You can explore within a certain, like, geographic area, maybe. You can explore within the area where we live, or within this area of expertise. You can explore within let's say that this is even something like, we tell you as children that you should explore becoming someone who has a certain job, but within the garden, right? Within the garden. So if that means that you should be a like a carpenter, or you should become a mechanic, or someone working with their hands, maybe. You shouldn't be an academic, right? Or the other way around, you should become an academic. That's the garden. But what's outside of the garden could be something else. It could be that you want to work in a nursing home, right? Or you would like a very free-spirited life where you travel around the world. You are a surfer, maybe. Or so you see, it's like there's something about the garden that tells me some kind of restriction. And either you are within that garden or you are not. And don't really bother about what's outside of the garden. What's outside of the garden is not for you, right? That kind of feeling. But maybe you would like to know what's outside of the garden. Because you have, to a certain point, explored what's inside of it. And maybe it doesn't fit you. Right? Maybe you can't find anything within the garden anymore that is kind of interesting for you. Maybe it was nice at a certain point to just, when you were small, to play in the garden here. You and someone else, maybe. But growing up means that you're not a child anymore, so you can't just run around looking for butterflies anymore, right? And it's not really that simple. You're not in that little garden anymore. You have grown up, perhaps, right? Or growing up means that you should go outside of the garden and meet a lot of stuff that you have not met inside the garden. This could talk about people who have lived a protected life, maybe. Maybe as children they were very protected from the outside world because of different circumstances. Maybe you were ill as a child and you couldn't be with other children, right? Maybe your parents were very ill, or something happened in your home where you were not able to engage with many socially outside of your home. Maybe you lived totally out in the wilderness alone. There were no other houses around. Take that how it resonates for you, but there could be certain circumstances that kind of eliminated you from engaging with the outside world somehow. As I said, maybe you have been in a place where you have, for a while, maybe you haven't been working, maybe you have been somehow not engaging with the roundabout, or you haven't been working, maybe. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom, right? And now your children, they are not, you don't need to care for them at home anymore. You can get out again, and maybe you can date, or you can get yourself a different job, but outside of the fence, right? Outside of the fence now, you can get yourself a job, or you can travel again, or you can take that how it resonates from, but being, I wouldn't say trapped in a situation, but being linked to the garden, whatever the garden may be for you, right? Maybe this means that you worked in your parents' shop, or and you felt somehow obliged to, that you should stay there, that you should be committed and loyal to something, but not something outside of the fence. Maybe you have considered marrying outside a cultural or religious or race. Maybe you fell in love with someone who belongs to a different cultural or racial or traditional belief system, and you were supposed to marry someone from your own, you could say, race maybe, or economical status, or whatever. So this means that maybe you have been standing in front of something that was not familiar or spoken of, not something that could be maybe taboo, right? Something taboo that maybe it sparked your interest, and you got somehow drawn to it, but it was not something that your parents or your otherwise family would have advised you to do or to go for, right? It's not normal, maybe, within a certain context. It's not normal, or something that people would say you could live from. Let's say you want to pursue a career as a musician, right? And your parents thought that you should become doctors, both of you here. They never thought that you would decide to become a painter or a writer or a musician, because making it as a writer, a poet, a musician, or a painter is not that easy, right? Whereas an academic education on the university, or at university, or some other kind of learning facility, which is proven, and the exam paper is valid, you can use it to get yourself a good, solid, well-paying job, right? So here there is something about choosing something that's outside of the garden. So outside of what is, or maybe being drawn to it, right? Being drawn to this idea that thinking outside of the box could also mean that something like maybe you have been very occupied for a period of time, as I said, with like the exams or the tests, where you feel like you've gained a lot of knowledge, but it's knowledge that your family, they don't understand. Like they if you start talking about this, it's like, it's almost like they view you as if you're not part of the family. Like they don't understand your point of view, maybe a political standpoint or something. They don't understand it. Like it's like you are a new person, or like if you believe in that stuff, you cannot be our son or our daughter, right? I can't believe you say stuff like that. I can't believe that you trust in something like that. I can't believe that you would throw yourself out in such trouble from their point of view, right? Something like that. So the garden is supposed to be a safe place. But maybe it's well intended. Maybe they have put up the fence to protect you or something, to keep you safe, to make sure nothing happened to you. Maybe it's a fence you have put up at some point, because it seemed easier to just stay in the illusion or in the little dream bubble, in a fantasy maybe. Romance can be like that, right? We fall in love with someone, and if the bubble keeps itself intact somehow, we live within that bubble, and it can be beautiful, but it can also be an illusion, where we are not seeing everything clearly. Okay, let's have a look at the Acacia. I'm going to have 3 cards up here, and then 1 down here. At the bottom of the deck, I get the 6 of Keys. It's called In Crescent Moon, and it's reversed. Well, when I look at this, it's clearly that he's an artist, this one, right? It's clearly that he is, there are drawings, he's working on some kind of statue here, or burst. There are others, stone carved or something here on the shelf. He's definitely... such interesting. I get something like, because it talks about moon here, it actually comes across a little bit as something that happens when you are asleep or unconscious somehow. It's almost like he's modeling her here, right? He's modeling something at night time here. It could be that he's trying to carve his, or build, or like his dream woman. You see, like he's trying to mold or carve her exactly as he would like her to look and be and everything. but it comes across with the moon energy, so something that could happen at night. Interesting. Something that could happen at night when you dream, or when you went to sleep. Something was trying to mold or heal maybe. Something like because he's an artist, right? He can choose. And now again, I get this feeling of like these exams. He starts out with a block of stone, right? And then he starts with his hammer here to kind of peel off the layers, you could say, of the stone, and mold and carve her out of the stone, right? He has to envision her somehow. He has to have a goal, you could say, an end goal of something. He has to be able to have that, have a vision in his mind's eye, and keep that vision while he is molding this stone into a statue, or into you could say, the dream woman, or we could even say peel off the layers. Maybe she has been, you could say, hidden within the stone. And he's trying to bring her alive here. He's trying to like carve or take away all unnecessary stone here, so that we can actually see her for what she is, how beautiful she is, or but I get the feeling of moon work, like something that is shadow work, or moon, something that maybe this has been going on a lot when you were sleeping also, that you worked, or you yeah, maybe you have been keeping, you could say, something in your mind's eye for a longer period of time, and you have been carving and molding something here, adapting maybe. Now I guess, well, now I'm taking on a little bit of a journey here. I suddenly am drawn to the film, I believe it's called Castaway, talking about this guy in I believe it was a plane crash, and he survives it, but is ending up on a deserted island where he's the only one there. And he manages to survive there, and he, because he has no one to talk to, I believe he actually carves from wood. He carves some kind of a head, I believe. He carves a head with whom he can talk to as a friend, right? And he does so because he needs someone to talk to, right? The isolation of being alone is needing someone to talk to somehow, even though it is made out of wood, or in this case a rock. It doesn't really matter. It's like having a friend there, but even though it's not really alive, it's better than having no one. It could even be the idea that if I talk to this long enough, it would actually become alive, that kind of feeling. So it tells me again something about maybe a loneliness, or feeling that you had to carve your friend, that you have to mold a friend yourself, you know, or the dream woman or the dream man, the feeling that there is no one out there really, so I'm building one myself. I paint them, I write about them in a diary maybe, I write a book about them. I choose to I would rather like this than having an actual person, because the actual person could disappoint me, right? Where this one seems to always understand. They don't talk back to me, they can't be rude, or what can you say, like they can't be rude or disappoint me, or destroy anything for me, because I created them, right? This is my creation and I decide how they are. So either you have been in a process of molding something within yourself, or literally like carving something, being an artist and being maybe a bit attached to your creation here, being attached to it. It could even be something like, let's say this is that you are the one here, and this is not a rock that you carve. This could be a child that you are educating, right? Or a child that you take care of. In that way you mold it. Or this could be an animal, right? That you go dog training with a dog here, and somehow you mold it to become appliant to you somehow. It will I don't know, do your bidding, or at least become your friend, or something like that. Do you get my point? Something like that. It can be the feeling that I create something that is not going to be aggressive or anything. I decide, or I choose again, what do I want to have from the rock. I could make anything, right? I could make a football out of it, but I decide to make this one because I want to create something beautiful maybe, or I want to create something that is maybe a spitting image of someone else, a substitute for something else maybe. That kind of feeling. If I can't have it in real life, I'm at least making a rock of it. Well, I don't, do you get my point? It's like missing something, or missing something, being lonely maybe, longing for something, and because it's not here, I create it, I paint it, I write about it. I make a poem about it. I write a novel about it. I create music about it. I sing about it. I talk to it, or whatever this is, right? It could be an imaginary friend here. The feeling of someone who is there with you as an imaginary friend. But something mainly there in secret. Like maybe this is mainly there in secret. It's not something you can say to other people, or it's a secret. It's something that happened in dream space. It's something that is not something you share with people. But it can simply be that you actually are an artist, but you're not. It's only, when nobody is looking, that you actually can do this. Or that you have something very beautiful to show, but maybe you're hiding it in a shed and nobody ever had access to see your drawings or your writing or your painting or anything. Okay, in the book here it says, a man works diligently sculpting a burst in his workroom. Behind him is a large window that overlooks the rolling hills of a harbor city. The moon in the sky point left growing to full. It's called the increscent moon. This waxing moon on the card shows an exciting time of increase, abundance and growth. Your effort have combined with external circumstances, and even the stars have aligned. If things have been financially tight for you recently, relax. There's a great opportunity for increase and fulfillment in every way, financially, creatively, and even in your reputation and prestige. So just do your work and get ready to receive. And now I'm suddenly, I can't remember if this was actually, it was reversed, wasn't it? I believe it was reversed. But suddenly it felt like it was not. In that case, it looks like it's a good thing, right? But I believe it came out reversed, actually. If so, I'm going to read that as well. Reversed, it says, the reversal shows that a phase of decrease is here. The moon is waning. The tides are ebbing away. Energy, money, and even your creative flow may feel tight for a while. The forces around you seem prohibitive. So conserve your energy rather than spend it on futile action. Though this seems like a difficult time, don't be dismayed. It's not permanent. The moon, like all things, moves in cycles, and quickly too. So take a deep breath, rest, and know that the time of increase will return. This actually makes more sense with what I said earlier about everything moves in cycles, right? The roundabout. And also the idea of here we go again. So now it could be the feeling that that something feels a kind of tiring, that you're more tired, that it seems like the flow is not that the creative flow is not very prominent, that you lack maybe investment in some of the things that you normally really like to do. Conserve your energy. Don't just spill it on it may seem difficult, but it's not permanent. Here we go again, and maybe again this laughter, like, where, okay, another time around, I have to do another round maybe of something. Seemingly, it doesn't look that great. But as underlying energy, I must say this could also come from you, right? This could be an expression of lack mentality. If this is underlying energy, this is what drives the other cards here. It drives them, right? So it could be the feeling that, okay, we take another, okay, this actually makes sense. Wow, if this is you, Cancer, I feel like you could be rather advanced at this point in time. If this talks about what I say, another roundabout, and the laughing, it actually comes across as the soul. The soul comes into existence as a baby, right? If you believe in incarnation, the soul comes again and again and again and again. And every time it arrives in a baby. And the baby has to grow up, and it experiences all kinds of stuff during its life. It becomes older and older, and it becomes elderly, and then dies eventually. But it's a roundabout, right? Every life is a roundabout. It's a here we go again kind of feeling. So it's almost like I have this feeling of a person here who has been around many times, like you have had many lifetimes. You have gone through different lifetimes again and again and again. And now you have come into another life. And your soul recognizes, oh, I'm here again. We take another one, right? I'm back for a new exam, or I'm back for a new study, and then an exam, right? And then study, a new life. So we could talk about lifetimes, like one life and an exam. Or an end, you die, and then you have a new life. And you take another round in the wheel of human experience, right? So like a soul that has been here many times, and I'm still incarnating in a dimension that is not abundant. That could be what this is about. Oh, now I'm here again. Well, it's still this mess. Okay, we take another turn of this then. That could be the soul speaking, right? That, okay, it's still a mess on Earth here. We are still 3D dimension. We still don't know what love is. We still don't know how to treat each other from a high frequency perspective. We still don't know that. Children and parents are still struggling with the whole concept of family and what love actually is, and so on. And arriving as a child into this, it could be this, oh, now I'm here again. Okay, we take another turn in the wheel, and we see next time I come around if it's better. That kind of feeling to it. And this is what has been driving it, right? That this feeling that I come from this place where Okay, this is just another of these experiences. There's decrease here. The moon is waning, the tides are ebbing away, energy, money, and even creative flow may feel tight for a while. So it could be this feeling that I've been here before. I take another round of this, right? Or the time is not right. People don't understand my music, right? Or people don't understand my lyric or my poetry, or they haven't figured out that I'm this amazing painter, right? I take another life where I'm a poor artist. That feeling. But I want to say it could be that is it because it's about the money that you focus on the money? Because again, money has nothing to do with love here, right? Maybe it's something about do you put the love into your work, or are you not doing that? Do you craft something but it has become routine, or do you do something here but there's no longer the excitement and the joy is no longer there? So the love is not there to bring this into the next level. Maybe that's why you're not passing the test or something here, or you don't want to see it as a test. There could be something about an artist typically don't like to be, they like to express what they want to express. Right? I believe that artists typically like the idea that they can paint what they want to paint, not what someone else wants to have in their living room. The expression they want to come with has to come from a deeper place within, right? It has to be an authentic thing. And it could be this feeling, I bring something to the table here and people don't get it, right? They don't get it. So the roundabout, and here we go again, can be this feeling where they still don't get it, right? They still don't get what it is I'm trying to express here. I get a little bit like H.C. Andersen, right? He wrote a lot of fairy tales, but actually his popularity, his fame came mostly after he died. And so it is with many artists, many painters, it was the same thing. It was the ascendants after him who actually got the reward of his work, right? Here, several painters, famous painters today, and their paintings are worth millions, right? But when they lived, the time wasn't quite right for them. The time didn't appreciate the way they expressed themselves, right? So that's what I feel like, that some people at some point have made an effort of doing something very creatively, something very beautiful, and unique, but it wasn't appreciated in the time when they lived. It wasn't appreciated and like truly rewarded, you could say, money-wise and so on. They were poor artists. They were poor and maybe they lived a rather lonely life. What they were doing, not many people liked it. Not many people appreciated it. Not until way later, right? Not until they were dead, long after. Then suddenly H.C. Andersen's fairy tales became known. They became known worldwide. They were translated and so on. But that was way later. And he himself, H.C. Andersen himself, a Danish writer, he didn't get the benefit of it, right? He didn't get the fame. He didn't get the money. He didn't get that kind of stability. But he was true to his heart. He was true to his heart. He didn't stop being a writer. He would rather live poorly and be a writer than become a worker on a factory. He would rather live very poorly and do his thing. And somehow I get the feeling of this is the same thing, that, oh, I have another roundabout. Maybe I'm going to have a life. This life around is the same thing. I'm going to be this lonely, a rather lonely soul that is doing something for myself on my own. And I will not have much support, and people will only see the reason why I did this and the effort I put in and the outcome of it. It will only be seen maybe after I'm not here. That's what I feel like. That could be something like that. Okay. I still feel I don't have this right. Can I have a like the initiation, something like you don't want to be judged, you don't want to pass some kind of test, you don't want to be tested, you don't want to be evaluated. Actually, yeah, maybe not wanting to be evaluated. But at the same time, I want to say an artist, well, of course you can decide not to bring your work out so people can see it. And you rather would want it to stay in your shed and you believe it's beautiful. And as long as you keep it there, nobody is rejecting it or criticizing it. As long as it's here, it's somehow safe, right? But that's the problem with an artist, right? An artist makes something and either people like it or not, right? Either they want it or and take it and or buy it or whatever, or they don't. Either they see value in it or they don't. That's kind of the idea, right? That either you make something that people like. That could be what this also is. Maybe you are putting in effort into something for a long time, but It seems like people don't want to buy your stuff. Your drawings are still here, your sculptures are still here. Maybe that nobody wants what you do here. Maybe people don't like it. Maybe they can't see the beauty of it as you can. Or they can't see the value of it. Again, this roundabout, I take another round of being a poor artist, or I take another lifetime of this, because they're still not ready to get it. I put my work out there, but I can feel it, or I see it, that they are not buying it, or they don't want it somehow. Like, it could be this feeling that if you bring some, like they don't, the initiation here, it could be something like, what it is you bring to the table, or what you present here, is something that maybe they don't want to hear it. If you write something here, maybe they don't want to hear it. Maybe it's too provocative. Maybe it's too sexual. Maybe it's too still. Even though I think media today, we can, at least in Denmark, we have free press. We can almost write and deliver anything, more or less. But it's almost like the initiation of you, like the abundance that you could somehow have. It's like it's not coming in. It's like, yeah, a roundabout of a new round of something where they still don't get it. I keep hearing that they still don't get it. They still don't get what it is that I'm trying to bring forward. I want one card on the initiation here, reversed. Can I have one card on it? A clarifier on this. Do I get this right? I still feel there's something. But one of the reasons why the initiation, or the potential that you could have, why it's not coming in, is maybe because you hide it, right? That you're not sharing it. You're not bringing it out. Maybe you're still just hiding it in your shed, not sharing it with anyone, right? The talent you have somehow. The talent you have is maybe still in the closet, and that's why the initiation is not coming forward. And maybe there's this, oh, I take another round of this. But maybe you shouldn't. Like, I don't know, I'm just asking, right? Maybe you shouldn't take that. Maybe you should be allowed to somehow have this initiation. But maybe it means that you need to take your talent out of the closet and actually show it to someone, right? It could mean that your talent, it hasn't peaked yet, right? That we talked about the moon, how it grows and veins and so on. And maybe it's just in the beginning phase here of something. That you have just started something here. Or you are just about to start something. And it hasn't like come to the fulfillment yet. It hasn't peaked yet. that's why you may not feel that you have had this connection with abundance yet. Again, this feeling of H.C. Andersen, like he wrote a lot of stuff, but it was only till the very end of his life that someone may actually have picked it up and liked it. And after his death, it was even more, but that's kind of late for an artist, right? Two of Cups, interesting. Two of Cups with initiation. Yes, something is not starting. And here we have a waning moon, a small one, and here we have a big full moon here. Yeah, this makes me, again, it makes me feel this, that I take another round where the Two of Cups here, where the one that I love, connection, right? Being connected with the one I love, where exchange of heart, exchange of love between one and another, connectedness. I take another round where I'm disconnected somehow from my one here. They are not here, right? They're not here, so I mold one here. Yeah, it comes across as, I don't know exactly, Cancer, but what the energy I have here is, I feel it's larger than just, it's not about one person here. This is like, it comes across as like the connection between yin and yang, the connection between man and woman, feminine and masculine. It's like it's not ready. We are still not ready. This dimension is still not ready for this. To handle love. We're still not ready for this. Again, step your vibration deeper into love. We or you are not ready still. You're still molding here or figuring something out. I find I said something about molding or carving your dream woman. But if we come from a place of love, we can't control another person. And in this world where we live in now, we can't expect in the 3D dimension, we cannot expect people to know what love truly is. My personal opinion is that we are terrible at this. We believe we know. But then we have all these demands to our partners and to ourselves as well. And they have towards us. And that would be conditional love, right? We don't know what unconditional love is. We don't know what this is. like union between the feminine and masculine energy, it's still not ready. That's what I feel like. We need to step further, deeper into the idea of love. This could be almost like homework, Cancer, that because I've heard other readers say that Cancer is the portal of love, that we are the bringers of love into the world. So maybe we need to go even deeper into our own hearts. I'm a Cancer sun. Maybe we need to go even deeper there to figure out what this means. At the bottom of the deck for the shuffle here, I get the Five of Swords. We don't know what love is. Five of Swords is terrible. This is betrayal, lies, things done behind your back. I get the feeling that we are not quite ready for that yet. Some even decide they would rather be single, right, than to have someone beside them, because if they look for a human man or woman out there, it comes with disappointment and betrayal, maybe. It's too difficult to love, I think. That could be what this also is. So I'd rather mold myself or paint about it or write about it. I'd rather do that than actually engage with a real person, right? I'd rather keep a vision of it. I'd rather connect with a vision of it than with a real person, because the real person can end up betraying me, lying to me, doing something behind my back. So I'd rather keep a fantasy or a vision. I'd rather connect with that than something real. Here we could even say that I'd rather create an avatar in a computer game who acts like me, right? I'd rather mold something here that is more reliable, I'd rather connect with an avatar of some sense. I'd rather connect with maybe a character in a movie, right? But not in real life, because it can't be, or it could be the feeling that I can't find the true love here. I can't find in this life. Maybe they are no longer alive. Maybe they don't live anymore. So I keep my focus on a vision here. I keep my focus on a memory of something. I'd rather connect with the memory of something than an actual person, because the person that I seem to get in touch with, the people that I seem to meet in this life, it's still the same. They're still operating from a lower vibrational frequency. So I take another round of this. Maybe just laughing about it. If you have really raised your vibration, you have done a lot of energy work, shadow work, healing, maybe you have come into this realization on And this needs to go, right, before we can have a new start in the world. It needs to go before we can have a new beginning. Something needs love. Maybe the trust in love. As long as we seem to doubt love, we usually have a wall up. And as long as we have a wall up, the love is not coming in because people can feel the wall, right? So sometimes maybe we need to allow ourselves to take the wall down and take the risk, right? But knowing that I take a risk now by putting my guard down, I take a risk, and maybe I get disappointed, maybe I don't. But as long as I keep my wall up, people tend to be able to feel that, right? This could even talk about that for a period of time, maybe you have been single, and in that period of time, you have been trying to visualize or mold an inner feeling or understanding, a picture of someone here and how they could be, right? Like envisioning, like a fairy tale in your head, my dream person. What are they supposed to be? What is they supposed to be like? And trying to build that in your head, in your understanding, in your feelings. Not totally... not like, well, if you put up too many requirements, it could be difficult to actually find such a person, right? But if this has to do with, for instance, you want someone trustworthy, you want someone who is nice or kind and supportive, that you build up some kind of understanding about a person, and you're kind of molding that in your inner eye. It could be that whatever you may have learned during your life, the experiences you've had, you make sure that this person is different, that they are not like the ones who have betrayed you. You recognize you know what the red flags are, maybe. You know what to consider, and you make sure that this is not part of this. So in your inner vision here, you kind of, you try to figure out what could this person look like? What could this person say? What could this person act like? What kind of line of work do they have, perhaps, if I should trust them, right? If I should be able to trust them, if I should be able to figure out if someone is real or not. And maybe, as I said, if this is a more collective energy, there could be something like you realize as a soul in this lifetime, maybe this is not possible. That the frequency here at this point in time is simply not good enough. People usually bring other stuff with them. They can't seem to bring in what I'm looking for. And therefore I imagine something else, or I want to connect with something else. We could even say this could even be something like, it seems to be like a statue. I said it could be an imaginary friend, right? It could be the feeling you talk to a spirit, you talk to an angel maybe. You would rather connect with that than you want to connect with a real person. I don't know, something like that. That it's not ready, that that the love here seems to not be ready, or you are not ready to be initiated into union with someone here, that you're not quite there yet. Maybe you hold yourself back and you keep yourself at the memories, right? Maybe you're still studying something here about people and people's behavior and how to make sure you are not trapped again, or you are not lied to or betrayed. Maybe you're still in some kind of studying phase. You haven't come to the final initiation exam. Let's have a look at the cards here. All reversals. So I have the Archangel Raphael. I have the Three of Keys, the chess game. I have the Eight of Scrolls, Path Unknown. Well, Archangel Raphael is known as being the great healer. So he is the one we can call for or connect with if we feel like there's something that really needs to be healed. They all came out reversed here. The middle card is called the chess game. I feel like I want to start here because the middle card is typically a card that is significant to understand the rest, you could say. It says the chess game, but reversed. And here again, I get this feeling that you have figured something out here. You have figured something out. We have black and white on the board here, right? Yin and yang, or we could say two opponents or oppositions here. Masculine, feminine. But it's reversed here. I get the feeling it's like you figured something out about maybe yourself, maybe a dynamic with you and someone else, maybe a dynamic with you and a feminine, you and a masculine, but opposing energies. It doesn't have to be, well, you could have a mother who is more masculine than feminine, right? You could have a father who is more feminine than masculine. You yourself as a woman could be more masculine than feminine. So take it how it resonates, but someone who is different than you, oppositional than you. So if you represent the more masculine side, you would be in front of someone who was not, more feminine. But here, when I see this reversed, I get the feeling that it's almost like I don't want to participate in like these dynamics here. I don't want to participate in the yin and yang drama of like these oppositional energies of the chess game here. I don't want to participate in this. It's like a game. It feels a little bit like a game. That's how it comes through. Like the game of love, perhaps. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more like a competition of winning or losing. And I don't want to be part of that. That's what I feel like. That's why this is reversed. That's again this feeling that I'd rather identify with a spiritual being. I'd rather identify with an imaginary lover, or I'd rather identify with a character from a movie or something like that. I'd rather identify with that than actually participating in the game of life with people, because it feels like a competition and it has nothing to do. Relationships feels like a competition, and there's lies and betrayal and all kinds of stuff here, and I don't want to be part of that, because it has nothing to do with real love here. It has nothing to do with real love, and I don't want to initiate anything with anyone. I'd rather be single. I don't want to be in this chess game, because it feels more like strategic, manipulating moves, winning and losing, instead of that it has to do with love. The healing has not come in yet. The healing has not come in, maybe of a partner or yourself. Maybe you feel like you are too damaged somehow. I can't be with someone because I don't want to participate in this game or this power struggle game of men and women, or I don't want to be part of that. I don't think maybe it can't be healed. I don't believe in the healing. I don't believe that it's possible. I don't believe that the connection that someone you may have in mind here, I'm not sure it can be healed. I don't want to participate in competition. And because of that, I don't know what my path will be here. It's unknown. Yeah, there are several paths in front of her. She doesn't know which one to take. I feel like someone not wanting to initiate in love with people, right? Because it seems like it's a game of more than, it's more a power game, and it has nothing to do with I feel like maybe something you figured out about love here. Whatever is going on, it has nothing to do with real, true, unconditional love. So I'd rather stick to my hobby, my creativity here. I'd rather be a creative writer or artist or something. I'd rather be committed to that, or to the, as I said, the fantasy, the fairy tale friend, the character from a movie. I'd rather identify or connect with that, or write about that, or imagine that, then I'd rather go out and be part of the real life out there. Because in real life, it's a power game between men and women, or between feminine and masculine. I'd rather stay at home and do my paintings here than being a part of this. I don't know if it can be healed, or at least it hasn't healed yet. The healing hasn't come in, and therefore I don't know what the paths are for us, you could say, for you and someone else, or for men and women in general. I don't know how the path for humanity as a species that believes that it knows how to love, that we don't know how this is going to turn out. If I take myself away or out of a connection with someone, out of the dating game or whatever this is, I will probably not find anyone. Then I'm alone here by myself, imagining something, just dreaming about someone maybe. They will not come in, right? I'll probably not find them. But as long as this is present, as long as this is here, I don't want to engage, right? I want to make sure I don't find such a person. I find another one. But it hasn't come in yet. It's not there. Maybe you would like union with someone, but it's not. It hasn't come in yet. Maybe that's why this is... I felt like Cancer was so tightly linked with the full moon that was just here, and it was actually the moon was conjunct with Chiron, another beautiful planet of healing, the wounded healer. He is called Chiron, and here there is a big wound, right, for us, a big wound. In humanity, that we don't know what love really is. The woundings inside us has been passed on through generations, so we don't really know what true unconditional love is. And someone is standing here and taking a stand on it, not wanting to be hurt more, maybe. The womb here, right? The womb, not wanting to be hurt in the core here, not knowing how to heal it, or when the healing is coming in for Earth or for you, not feeling fully healed here, or not being fully not feeling that you have that you're ready perhaps to engage in something like this, and therefore right now your path alone perhaps here is unknown for you. I sense a kind of procrastination also, I don't know if I would say waiting, because it feels quite certain, like a decision made that I can't find the love I'm looking for in this realm. It's what I'm looking for is so much more. I can't find it in a human person, so I need to find it somewhere else. But when I can't find it, I stand on my own. And when I stand on my own, I'm not quite sure which way to go. So it could be a rather recent decision that from maybe being in a position where you were really looking for someone, and you were hoping and wishing, and every time you met someone, you hoped for the best, and you put your effort into it, and this was what happened. And eventually you broke up, or they left you, or they ghosted you, or they lied to you, betrayed you, stole from you, manipulated you, whatever. And you may have come to a decision that you don't want to participate in this anymore. So you live by some memories here. You don't know how to heal it, and you don't know how to move on your own. So it feels a little bit like a bit of a stagnant, or a but I get decision, like there's a decision, I leave this be for now, because it seems to me like I can't change anything. I can't make this, I can't heal the world. I can't heal all men or all women out there. I accept the fact that it seems like I haven't been able to find someone like that. That I haven't been able to do that. Or maybe I don't even know how to heal myself, so that I become ready, or to heal my heart so that I trust again. So this was reversed, Archangel Raphael. It says, this card reversed could signify an emotional or physical condition, or a split in the family that needs to be healed. Something troubles you, and you may not realize that you are not using all your resources. Let Raphael be part of the solution, even if you've never thought about asking for heavenly help before. Consider all your options for healing the issue, and emotions at hand. Practice meditation to bring yourself to a higher perspective. Consciously work with your thoughts and words to help shift difficult feelings. And if therapy would be helpful, seek that out. Whether you are suffering from a broken heart, from lost love, or painful childhood memories, it's time to stop living in the dark. Raphael longs to bring his light and love to your life. Open your heart, ask for help, and let him in. When you do, you may find that your miracles await. So the Akashic force of this is to open yourself to the presence and touch of the Archangel Raphael, who stands beside you now. Close your heart and take a deep breath, and feel the whole self fill with the healing energy of boundless love. Every cell, every thought, every moment vibrates with the radiant power and love of Raphael. So it seems like maybe you haven't asked for help. You could ask for help here. And you will probably not know what your path is for now. I feel there's something that seems a bit blocked, maybe in your sacral chakra here, that because you have kind of retrieved, I get the feeling of being kind of retrieved, and you have come to some kind of conclusion that it seems like it's not there for me. That either I don't want to be tested anymore about love. I say no to a test. I take myself out of the game here. I don't know if I can be healed. I may ask for it, but I don't know, or I don't believe in it. And therefore, right now, my path is a bit unsure, because for Cancer, you're usually quite occupied with this, right? You would like to be with someone. You're about, we say, the 4th house, home, family, close relationships. That's kind of definitely what, and children, right? That's also very important for Cancer, I believe. And kind of being without is maybe the feeling that something is lost. Something may feel like it's lost, and you don't know exactly where to go then, if you don't have this in your life. But somehow I get the feeling when I look at this, it's like there is a path here that seems a bit lightened up, and then there's another one here that isn't. And maybe you should allow maybe Raphael to show you, right? Ask for some kind of guidance here. Ask for an opportunity to be guided towards what may be right for you. So the path unknown, reversed though, it says, you may find yourself very undecided and hesitant to move in any direction when this card is reversed. When it's only a time, it's not only a time to look into the dark, but also a time for looking backward. The path on your left is partially illuminated by the sun and calls you to investigate it. It leads you to a past or past life, relationship, talent, or experience. If you look into the history and go back to resolve the issue or reconnect with the past person, occupation, or deed, you will open the way to future success, and your decisions will become clearer. No matter the reason why you are hesitant, challenge yourself now to break free from fear and inertia. It's amazing how many unexpected opportunities can pop into your future when you look behind you, and how much you can bring to light when you step into the dark. So dark meaning unknown, right? It seems like you can ask for help for healing here. You don't want to participate in the game of love at the moment, but maybe you, as I said, maybe you have a hobby, right? Maybe you have this here that is actually your biggest love, perhaps. The biggest thing you could be in love with in this lifetime, perhaps. Maybe this is what brings you more connection. But there's another card down here, and this is linking to the driver here, the underlying energy. So let's have a look at this one. And this is upright. It says intricacies and industry. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of work here. To me, it comes across as I said something in the beginning, something about like hidden, not hidden gifts, but something only you can do, right? So instead of being occupied maybe with another person, you could become occupied with your life mission, perhaps. What you are here to create, why you are here, right? What feels right to you, what you want to build. It is a card of also something about like putting in the work, putting in seeds, taking a new action in a direction, or attend a course, attend maybe a new workplace, but it links so highly, I feel like, with this. Right? It's almost like stepping into divine duty or divine deed, the Dharma, the divine Dharma of life, something like that. Become devoted to something that is of the right spirit here for you, whatever that may be for you. That's what I feel like. So it's almost like taking yourself out of I wouldn't say maybe entirely out of the idea that love can't exist on this earth, but it's like the world is not ready, or the love you're looking for, the higher vibrational love you're looking for here, it's like it's not here. It's only in my imagination. Therefore, I choose to be committed to something else here. Seven of Scrolls we have here. The work of a Renaissance cathedral has just begun. At first this building seems modest, but in time its grandeur will reach several stories high and across the centuries. But now piles of stone and rock dot the scene. A mason bends, focusing intently on a plumb bob that hangs next to a partially built wall. This instrument helps him determine if the wall is straight and true. At a very basic level, this card could indicate building or renovating a home or business. This card also shows that you are on your way to some kind of greatness here. But it requires attending to even the tiniest of particulars. Be diligent with the specifics in your strategy and pay considerable attention to detail and follow through. While you may have a long-term goal in mind, the small steps are what's important now. Even the most magnificent cathedrals were built stone by stone, day by day. It is only by heaping up the small that the great can be achieved. So there's a situation in your life that requires your attention to detail right now. Close your eyes and imagine that this situation is a puzzle in pieces on a table in front of you. Imagine the individual pieces and sense that you notice and feel, and sense what you notice and feel about them. So it feels a little bit like what you are trying to build here, or what you're trying to achieve, is huge. The thing you have in mind is big. It's a big project. And maybe you are here to start it, right? Or maybe you are here to build something, but it requires your attention and your detail. And maybe that's also why I had this, oh, here we go again. Like, I'm not done. Or even if I choose to focus on something else, there's still work here for me to do. Or there's still, I still need to have detail on this. As much detail as you may have had in relationships with other people, as much detail you may have had in relationships, or how much focus you had on that, maybe it's time now to have your focus on something else. This feels more, you could say, work related. It feels more economical. It feels, well, maybe not economical. I want to say maybe spiritual. It could be that if you have had a broken heart, that this talks about building it up again, or building something from the ground, but it has to be based on love, something you feel is right for you, something that comes in with the right intentions, the right feel to it. I'm not saying you're building a church. This can be anything. Maybe you're building some kind of institution, right? Maybe you build an institution for violated women. I don't know. But the point is that you build something. Maybe it's where you actually let some of your creativity here come through. Maybe you are building a dance center where people can express themselves as they are. Or a teaching facility where you teach something. The point is that you're trying to rock a boat, I feel like here. You're really trying to put together a puzzle. But you have to be sensitive to the energies in the puzzle. Each brick has to fit in the right place. Again, it's a bit the same thing. The detail you have on something here, the detail you put into like molding and carving something as beautiful as this burst here. The same thing is here. Maybe this is just on another scale. Like maybe this is just a little creative project you have, and now you're actually making it much bigger. You're upscaling something here. So maybe from making a little bit, like a little statue, or a little producing small jewelry at home, you now take it like out to big stores, or you upsize something here. But you have to start with like the tiniest things you have, and then you build more. it could be that this has to do with trust and love, right? That you start with what you have, like a little bit of maybe hope or trust or faith, and you build something here with it, but from the right intentions, or a willingness to put in some hard work and detail to kind of make something more beautiful in your life here. Sometimes we would like to know the path in front of us. Sometimes we would like to know where we are going. And we would like to see the end goal, as I said in the beginning, and I don't feel I have it here. It's like it's not really seen as we see it here. It feels like you don't know what it is. But somehow I also get the feeling it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what the end goal is. You will see it along the way. You start building with one brick and then you build upon another. And eventually you get to see it. As I said, this could even be seen as I said, the exams of a lawyer, right? That he starts with just a little studying and then he has the first exam. And if he actually, if he manages to pass it, then he can study again and build a little more. And eventually you have actually built something very great here. But maybe you don't see it. It's only in hindsight you see it. Because you get so absorbed in the work. So you get so absorbed in each piece or each block from day to day that it's only if you take 10 steps back and you actually watch what you have created here that you actually see how big it is. Right? And this comes from the love you have put into it. It comes from the devotion to it. But maybe sometimes we get so absorbed in what we do that we don't even see that we actually have been building something big here. That we have actually managed to maybe overcome something, like a real struggle in life, that we actually have overcome something wonderful or amazing. That in hindsight we are able to walk away and look at it and actually see how detailed or how much focus this has demanded of us. But also seeing the beauty of it. That's what I feel like. But this can only be seen in hindsight. You can't see it from the get-go, right? You can have a vision, as I said here, you can have a vision in your head here that you would like to create a woman. But it's only when you get to some of the final touches that you actually see exactly how she looks. When you start with one like a big rock, you can't see her yet, right? You can't see her yet. As you can see the cathedral, maybe you have some drawings, but you can't really see it standing there in true nature with the lights, sunshine shining on it. It's only when it's finished you can see it. That there is a process in this, right? A starting point where you have no bricks over here and where you only have one square of rock here, where nothing has been molded or built yet. So I feel like that could even be like the feeling of a lack of confidence in your creativity, right? That you could actually create something beautiful as this. And but if you keep to it, you will create something. I feel like it's there, but it will take time. It will take another round, you could say a roundabout, It's coming. You could dive into, as we said with the path unknown, you could dive into maybe past lives, maybe things you really liked to do when you were a child. You could try something entirely new and see if there suddenly is something that piques your interest, and then just keep working on it until you figured it out. But because it seems like you're in the process of building something great, but maybe you don't know it. Again, as I said with H.C. Andersen, he didn't know, right? But he had a vision, he had a creative writer gene in him, and he wanted and stuck to it. He kept writing, right? Lived very poorly, and he never really got married, I believe. He had poor experience with romance, so he put himself into work. He decided that this is what feels more right to me. I can trust. I can trust this. This I can trust. Other people I cannot trust, right? Other people I don't know what they will come up with, but I can trust me, right? I can trust me, but I have to get my confidence, right? If this has to do with confidence here, I have to trust in my confidence, have confidence and trust in that I can create this, I can actually mold this, I can build this, and devote yourself to this instead. That's what H.C. Andersen did, but he didn't know what he was creating. After his death, suddenly, you could say, his fairy tales became greatness. It became world-known, famous. But he didn't know, right? When he started, he didn't know. Sometimes we just have to start doing something. Even if people don't appreciate it, even if it seems like they don't like it, it doesn't matter. Write the book anyway. Make the article. Make the blog. Make the video. Whatever. Do it anyway. Okay? Yeah. This is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope this helped you somehow if you feel stuck or something, or you have lost inspiration or motivation with other people somehow. I feel like don't give up, but maybe if you feel like you need a time out with people, then focus on your work here. But because what you are creating, or what you have figured out, or what you could show the world, is actually magnificent. You just don't know it yet. Okay? So take care of yourself out there, Cancer. I send you my very best. Love and light to you. Bye-bye.